The sketchbook graveyard, all different sizes, shapes, and colors. No two sketchbooks alike, but not a single one of them full. If you're like me, that scene is not unfamiliar to you. You get a new sketchbook. Oh, it's so beautiful. The paper feels fantastic. Oh, you just want to touch it. You get your favorite markers. Oh, we're going to have such a good time and draw, but then, ruined. Into the sketchbook graveyard you go. For our first recovery page, we're going to use colored paper. Lay your colored paper down under your sketchbook, and with a pencil, trace the outline of your sketchbook and then cut your paper to size. Grab a glue stick and then simply paste your colored paper into your sketchbook. Trim off any excess paper that overlaps the edges of your page. And always remember to test your paper with the medium you want to use in your sketchbook before gluing it in. The purple paper that I'm using is a printer paper, which tends to hold more weight, so I can use my Posca paint pens. The yellow paper is origami paper, which really should be used more for ballpoint pens. Hold your sketchbook closed so that you can get a good seal with the glue. Go back in and double check your edges and re-glue any that are starting to lift. Then make sure to trim off any excess paper. For this next page, we're just going to grab our favorite big black marker. I like the Faber-Castells because they're waterproof and smudge-proof. Just lay down a few coats of black marker and you're good to go. I love having a few dark pages in my sketchbooks. It's a great place to experiment with different gel pens and maybe even some gouache paints. It's just a fun place to play. If you don't like streaks, make sure to saturate the page and go over it a few times with your marker. Let's find our next page to fix. I like to take notes in my sketchbook, so for this page, I'm using some lined notebook paper and some washi tape to stick it in. I love using washi tape because it's so bright and cheerful, and I can experiment and have fun with it. I decided I didn't want to keep these dog pictures either, so I took some sticky notes and placed them over the images. And of course, tacking the rest of it on with that fun washi tape. I like making little grids like this because it's a fun place for thumbnails and ideas. For our next page, we're going to use Posca paint markers. If you haven't played with these yet, I highly recommend you pick up a couple. They're really fun. They are paint, so make sure after your first coat, you take time to let them dry. I always add a few coats to make sure I get a nice solid color background. Ruined pages can also be a great place to experiment. Pick your favorite color, medium, and just play with it. Test out your materials, mix stuff together, and see what happens. The page was already ruined, so what's the worst that can happen? This is a fear-free page to experiment and play. I love to use pages like this as backgrounds. Later on, I'll go over it with some black paint or black marker, maybe some white gel pens, and if I really hate it, I can always cover it up later. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now go out there, recover those ruined sketchbooks, have fun experimenting, and don't forget to play.